Hello, my name is Jamar Miller, and I'm doing an interview presentation on healthcare reform. First before I'm going to talk about employment law. Employment law is a collection of laws and rules that regulate relationships between employers and employees. Some of the laws that have been passed are the labor laws, Civil Rights Act of 1964, the FLSA, the Equal Pay Act of 1963, OSHA, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and the Americans with a Disability Act, and the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. I had I have had the opportunity to interview a professional. Her name is Miss Janice Williams. She has 20 years of experience as a human resources and employment specialist at the U.S. Chance Health Medical Center in Jacksonville, Florida. The first interview question we discussed was, what preventative measures do you use during the hiring process to ensure discrimination under the Civil Rights Act of 1964 isn't avoided? Ms. Williams says she chooses candidates based on qualification related to the job, meaning she looks at their job certificates, their degrees, prior experience, prior work experience, and she avoids looking at the person's background first. So when she gets an application, she looks at the person's name, then scans, just go to the background, go through the qualifications. This helps her stay focused on treating everyone the same, regardless of the age, race, and religious beliefs, which all falls under the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This helped her choose the best qualified candidate, regardless of how they look and their age, and get to what the organization needs. Moving on to the next question. Moving on to question number two. Are there any questions that you are prohibited to ask or are considered illegal to ask under the Federal Employment Law or ADAA, Americans with Disabilities Act amendments? Ms. Williams responded that the only question that she is prohibited to ask is the applicant is disabled or has a disability. Questions that are not related to the job are high risk questions and should never be asked. For instance, how many kids you have, what kind of disabilities you have. These type of questions can be a form of discrimination and can be used by the applicant to contact state EEOC or human rights agencies, which can put the organization at risk or you at risk. So moving on to the last question with Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams, the last question was what challenges you are faced with when it comes to hiring and maintaining employment at your current place of business. So she responded as finding quality candidates to fulfill positions. She says a lot of candidates they put in applications that they're not really qualified or haven't met the work experience, hoping to find these jobs. So she has the luxury of going through these applications, these applicants, and making sure they fit what the organization needs. Then once they find a qualified candidate, the challenge they have if they find a good quality candidate is usually that candidate has more than one job interview lined up, or they already know what they're looking for in the job, and basically they're surfing for the right job with the best benefits. And now now it's her job to sell the company to the candidate, to try to make that candidate want to be part of that organization and choose them over a rival competitor. So which she has to organize is like pay, benefits, and other employee benefits that make a job seems more appealing to a candidate. Additional challenge that she has is communication between the hiring manager and the recruiter. Usually, the hiring the recruiter they go out and find the candidate that they need for the job, but the hiring manager doesn't has a different point of view of what they want or looking for in a candidate. So if the recruiter doesn't know what the hiring manager wants, and the hiring manager is not communicating, so a lot of times that the candidate is not chosen or is rejected by the hiring manager, and the process restarts all over again, picking another candidate. So that's the kind of main challenges she faces when hiring a quality candidate to, to fulfill a position in her business or her organizations. So I'd like to thank her, Miss Janice, for cooperation and her plethora of knowledge